Norway's frontline F-35s are supposed to be the silent quarterbacks of NATO's skies. Stealthy, all-seeing, able to pass what they know to everyone else in the fight. But when those jets scramble over the Arctic, pilots keep running into a simple, unsettling dilemma. To share what they see, they may have to make themselves easier to see. That's not a trade you want to make when another nation's fighters are nearby. So here's the big question. If our newest jets can't seamlessly pass targeting data to older jets, ships, and ground units without raising their own profile, is NATO's air strategy built on a fragile promise? Think about it. The alliance has mixed fleets, different radios, and brutal polar conditions. The sales pitch said one web of sensors. The reality, pilots say, can feel like pick two, stealth, speed, or sharing. What happens in a real crisis when seconds matter and the wrong emission can give away position? This isn't a gadget problem. It's a strategy problem hiding inside the wiring. And the longer it stays hidden, the more likely it is to show up at the worst possible time. NATO's air strategy assumes that stealth jets can feed the whole force with near-instant, low-signature data. Norway's F-35 experience in the high north shows that assumption is shaky. Incompatible links, emission control trade-offs, and polar communications gaps force pilots to choose between staying hidden and staying connected. Until the alliance makes stealth safe, interoperable sharing the default, not the exception, it risks slower decisions, riskier intercepts, and a brittle air defense web. For 2 decades, NATO planners talked about one sensor, one shooter, a force where any radar picture or targeting cue can flow to whoever needs it instantly. The F-35 sits at the center of that promise. It fuses radar, infrared, and electronic signals into a single picture, then is supposed to pass the right slice of that picture to 4th-generation fighters, surface ships, and ground batteries. In theory, an F-35 can spot a threat, cue an ally's missile, and never say a word on open radio. Here's the catch. The jet's stealth-friendly language is MADL, a tight, low probability of intercept link designed mainly for F-35 to F-35 sharing. Most of NATO's other assets speak Link 16, a robust but noisier, more detectable network. Bridging those worlds without lighting up the sky is hard. It's like trying to whisper across a room while the only microphone available is a bullhorn. Why does this matter now? Because the alliance fights as a mixed team every day, from air policing to maritime patrols, especially in the high north. If the network can't gracefully translate stealth whispers into coalition understanding, the promise of sensor-to-shooter turns into delays, workarounds, and uneasy pilots making emissions trade-offs on the fly. Before we continue with the video and my further explanation about Norway, I want to ask for your help. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out. Okay, let's continue. Start with the mental model. Silent mesh versus shouting radio? Stealth jets want a silent mesh. Tight, directional, low-probability links that barely leave a trace. Mixed NATO packages often end up on a shouting radio. Wider, louder emissions that everyone can hear. Norway's F-35s live at the fault line between the two. Inside the F-35, data flows beautifully. Sensors fuse, threats are ranked, targets are labeled. Jet to jet, they trade that picture over MADL, a whisper-thin beam built to be hard to detect. The trouble starts the moment the force includes anything that doesn't speak MADL. Legacy fighters, maritime patrol aircraft, ships, ground batteries. To include them, someone has to bridge to Link 16. It's robust and familiar, but it's also more chatty. Pilots call this the MCON tax. Every time you talk louder, you pay with a bigger signature. Now add the high north. At these latitudes, radio waves behave differently. The ionosphere bends, the aurora crackles, and links that were solid at mid-latitudes can fade or scatter. Satellites sit lower on the horizon, meaning less margin for error. A clean handoff on paper can become a jittery, partially connected reality in the cockpit. Do you wait for the perfect net, or push information now and risk lighting yourself up? Gateways and translator pods help. Think of them as live interpreters between whisper and shout. But they're not on every jet, not on every sortie, and they introduce another constraint. The gateway's position becomes critical. If it's out of place, the chain kinks. If it's late to the party, pilots hack together ad hoc fixes, short bursts, pre-briefed push times, or passing cues through a different platform altogether. This is the hidden flaw. The strategy assumes frictionless translation. The physics and the geography don't. When the network hesitates, pilots face an ugly choice: protect stealth or empower teammates. Either way, the kill chain stretches, and the clock favors the other side. Start with Norway. Its F-35s sit on quick reaction alert for the high north, where intercepts happen in ugly weather and emptier skies. Norwegian pilots want two things at once: stay silent and still feed the team. Every extra mission feels like risk. NATO air policing units come next. They're a patchwork of fourth-gen fighters, tankers, surveillance planes, and ships. Their incentive is reliability. A picture everyone can use, even if one link drops. They'll take slightly louder but consistent over perfectly stealthy but brittle. The United States and industry are the fixers and the gatekeepers. They push new gateways, SAT-routed Link 16, and software updates. Their incentive is scale and security. Make it work across allies without exposing crown jewel tech. That means export rules and timelines that rarely match a scramble's speed. The result is today's compromise-heavy reality, not tomorrow's clean diagram. First, the quiet breakthrough. Norway ran a trial routing Link 16 through satellites instead of the usual line-of-sight relays. On paper, it's just plumbing. In practice, it meant a stealthy jet in the far north could keep a coalition picture alive without blasting a wide cone of radio energy. Pilots called it a glimpse of the future, the same network, but with the volume turned down. The catch? It was a limited trial, not a standard loadout. Until it's routine, crews still plan around gaps. Second, the live fire rehearsal. US, UK, and Norwegian crews ran an exercise where F-35s found and classified threats, then pushed targeting cues to other shooters through a dedicated gateway. It worked. Missiles flew based on data the launching platform didn't collect. That's the dream. But the gateway aircraft had to be in the right spot, at the right time, with the right software. When everything aligned, the chain sang. When it didn't, the tempo dropped and crews fell back to pre-briefed contingencies. Third, the high north stress test. A long-range maritime scenario stitched together jets, patrol planes, and ships across tough latitudes. The lesson wasn't about firepower. It was about choreography. The farther north they went, the more the network demanded careful timing, short transmissions, and backup paths. Everyone got the job done, but nobody mistook possible with effort for effortless by default. Across these cases, the pattern repeats. The concept is sound, the pieces exist, and when you marshal them precisely, the system shines. But the everyday reality, weather, distance, mixed fleets, keeps turning a clean diagram into a tightrope walk for the people in the cockpit. Operational risk comes first. Every time crews shift from stealthy whispers to louder links, they accept a bigger electromagnetic footprint. That can slow intercepts, complicate ID, or hand the adversary clues about tactics. Next is tempo risk. If a gateway or relay isn't in position, the kill chain stretches and opportunities slip. Strategic risk is concentration. Many allies hinge on the same aircraft type and software baselines. One bug or sustainment hiccup can ripple across the force. Political risk lurks underneath. Data sharing rules, export controls, and classification can block the very interoperability the strategy assumes. Finally, training risk. Units rehearse workarounds, not defaults, which bakes friction into day-to-day air policing instead of engineering it out. Start by hardening the links that already exist. Scale satellite-routed Link 16, so northern crews can pass the picture without shouting. Make it a default loadout, not a science project. Next, proliferate gateways, pods on fighters, payloads on drones, boxes on tankers. So any package has at least one translator between stealth whispers and legacy networks. Then, standardize MCON playbooks across allies. Common brevity, common burst windows, common fallback paths. So mixed formations don't improvise at the worst moment. Pair that with Arctic-focused SATCOM investments and software that prioritizes directional, low-probability transmissions by default. Finally, fix the human layer. Joint training where 4th Gen and F-35 units swap roles, practice degraded links, and measure success by silent data delivered, not radios used. The goal isn't louder comms. It's a dependable, quiet mesh that holds under stress. NATO's Flaw isn't the F-35. It's assuming the network is effortless. Norway's experience shows the fix. Make quiet, coalition-wide sharing the default. Scale SAT-rooted Link 16, flood the force with gateways, and train to MCON first tactics. Do that, and pilots stop choosing between being seen and being heard. The Alliance keeps stealth and gains speed, trust, and a kill chain that actually holds.